Kei aku wehi ki te rangi, kei aku ihi ki te whenua tēnā koutou katoa, nau mai anō kia Marae i tēnei ata i rungi te manako nui e tau iho tonu ana ngā manaakitanga o te wā kia koutou katoa. Kāti kei te whakamātautau hia anō te tikanga Māori e te tūmata nui i tēnei wā ko tā te tikanga Māori noho ki te kōti. But Māori lawyers warn this undermines judicial independence and could roll back Māori law, setting a dangerous precedent for Te Tiriti partnership. And Tai Ahu, co-president of Te Hunga Rōia Māori, is with us this morning to discuss the role of tikanga in our courts and what's at risk if the government steps in to override it. E toku rangatira Tai, e mihi ana ki a koe, tēnā koe.
Tēnā koe, Scotty, o tira tēnā tātou katoa.
Why is tikanga important in courts and what does its recognition actually mean in practice?
It's important, Scotty, in the context of our colonial history. So, for example, Scotty, for most of our history, tikanga Māori has not thought to be relevant to the law or even thought to be law. Māori were thought not to be civilised enough to have law. And so as a result of that, law was actually used in a way that took away Māori land, it took away Māori rights, and it denigrated our culture and our heritage. So to have tikanga Māori in the law today, it's a reflection of who we are as a people. It's also a reflection of our identity and what we want our law to be and to look like today. And practically, Scotty, it could have a widespread influence over lots of different areas of law. So, for example, big decisions like whether a company that pollutes might owe a duty of care to a Māori landowner who might be impacted by climate change, to decisions like whether a council should grant a company a resource consent to dam a river or to undertake offshore deep sea mining, to smaller decisions like whether or who should look after a Māori foster child in state care. So the ramifications are really big, and it's just important for tikanga Māori to actually have a place and to ensure that Māori have a place and an involvement with the law.
And can you give us an example of a case where tikanga Māori has been upheld or applied so people can get an idea of what tikanga Māori in the court system and in the judicial system looks like in practice?
Yeah, so it's upheld on a daily basis in forums like the Māori Land Court. So, for example, decisions like whether a whāngai should be able to succeed to Māori land interests of whāngai parents, but also in other areas, like, for example, in the granting of resource consents, how a local authority should consider the impact, the environmental impact on Māori audiences or Māori people, hapu and marae. Other examples are, for example, employers owe a duty of care to their employees, and tikanga might require a different approach to be taken to how a Māori employee might be dealt with, or if it's a kaupapa-based organisation, whether there are actual teeth to things like manaakitanga, to whanaungatanga, to anything that kaupapa Māori organisation might value, that can modify the types of duties that an employer in that organisation might owe to their employees. So there are lots of decisions, Scotty.
The Minister, Goldsmith, says tikanga creates uncertainty. How tō whakautu ki tēnā? What's your response to that?
Well, I think tikanga Māori might seem uncertain to someone who doesn't know very much about it or might just be unfamiliar with it. But I would say that recently there's been a lot of work done to help to address that gap in terms of knowledge and understanding. So, for example, Te Akamatu o Te Ture, the Law Commission has, I think about a year ago, released a pretty comprehensive report into what tikanga Māori is, how the law has treated tikanga Māori, and what are the relevant principles in tikanga Māori that have some legal bearing on particular issues. Also, Scotty, I'd say that a lot of these tikanga, kupu like mana, whanaungatanga, kaitiakitanga, they're actually part of New Zealand English. They might have been taken out of some tamariki books, but I would say that they haven't been taken out of the classroom, and they haven't been taken out of the hearts and minds of kuia on our marae, advocates arguing law in the courtrooms. It's very much an open place in which tikanga Māori can be argued.
So how does this debate connect to te tiriti o Waitangi me ngā haipapa o te karauna ki te tiriti o Waitangi, the Crown's obligation to te tiriti o Waitangi? How does all of this connect in to that, to the, te taonga nei te tiriti o Waitangi?
Well, I guess I would say that Te Reo Māori has been considered to be a taonga and that requires the Crown to take active steps to protect it. And so I think on the same basis, Tikanga Māori is a taonga under Article 2. I think it's very difficult in the current environment because the government has entered into a coalition agreement that is trying to destabilise the place of the treaty and Tikanga Māori within the legal framework. And it's just makes us feel like we're going back 100 years. And we've got a lot of work to do to try to turn the tide, but e whakapai ana hau he toka tū moana te iwi Māori, ka pari te tai, ka timu te tai, kei konei tonu tātou.
And if the government does move to override the courts, what would happen next, or what should happen next?
Well, I think we need to try to consolidate and to reinforce the tikanga that they're trying to take away. And we know how to do that. Like I think of the Te Kuini Ngāwai Honoi Te Pō's coronation. It doesn't matter what the legislation might say, we're still going to be going to Tūranga Waiwai Marae. Our classes here in Ōtaki for Te Reo Māori, they are full. Legislation is not going to change that current of change that's occurring, Scotty. So we just have to lean into that and realise that, as I said earlier, ka pari te tai, ka timu te tai, governments come and go, and we just have to look in on ourselves and lean on each other to ensure we can survive and thrive.
If they start coming in and overriding, you know, the independence of the courts, the judicial independence of the courts, does that mean that that independence is under threat?
I think it is. I mean, he needs to be more careful in his comments, Scotty, because I've never seen any kind of criticism levelled at judges that says that if you adopt a particular judicial methodology or a particular approach to your decision making, we're going to overrule that. That's never been done as far as I'm aware. It's fine for the minister to critique a particular judgment, but it's not fine just to say, well, there's too much tikanga in the law and we need to fix that, so we're going to take it all out. That's just a really unhelpful and will have a chilling effect on judges that are trying to ensure that tikanga Māori can be applied in a way that respects not only Māori rights, but reflects our broader culture.
E wā poto noi ho e toi ana ki a tāua, engari korero koe mō ngā kai whakawā me te ngā kaunui o ngā kai whakawā ki te hāpai ngā tikanga Māori I roto I te kōti. Is that your feeling as you go through your everyday mahi as a lawyer? Do you feel that the judges and basically a lot of people who work in the court system are supportive of tikanga Māori in the system, in the court system? Do they use it? Do they show their support for it? You know, what's your feel on it?
He nui ngā panonitanga I roto I ngā whakahaere o ngā kōti. Kei te ngā koutuwhera rātou. For example, there have been a lot of changes in terms of the way that court practice occurs, Scotty, like you know, the registrar speaks in Māori. A lot of our court processes now, they happen on a marae, and not just court on a marae, but also reflecting the tikanga and trying to bring in elements of tikanga to ensure that Māori can have faith in the law. You know, ka hokia ki te kōrero a te kōti mā te ture anō te ture e aki. That is to say that law can be both a problem and a solution. So me whakapono tātou ka tika, Scotty.
Mihi ana ki a koe tai, tēnā koe hoa. Nāui maramake ai te katoa. Ki te nui o tēnei kaupapa, mihi ana ki a koe tai, I tō whakawātea mai a koe ki a marae I tēnei ata. Orawe hoa, orawe ngā kōrero. Tēnā koe.
Hei te pai. Tēnā koe, Scotty.
Ka te hae tiwi e whai akene as local body elections are underway. The debate around Māori wards is front and centre. But what exactly are they and what makes them important? We unpack it all in studio. Kia mau tonu mai. He tiwi, voting is now underway in the local body elections. I tōna tikanga kua tau ngā mōkihi pōti kia koutou katoa I naia nei. Alongside choosing mayors and councillors, communities will also decide the future of Māori wards in a referendum across the motu. Māori wards are designed to ensure Māori representation at council level. Still, plenty of voters are asking what do they actually mean and why should we care? Joining us this morning are political commentators, Professor Ella Henry and Director of Action Station, Cassie Hartendorp, and mihi ana kia kōrua tēnā kōrua. Nau mai kia marae tēnei ata. Cassie, Action Station, what exactly are Māori wards and why are we having a referendum on them? I think a lot of our people need clarity around this.
Sure, so Māori wards are seats on local councils that make sure that Māori have a voice at the decision-making table. And they've been around for some time now, and they came because there was severe underrepresentation of Māori at councils. In one council in particular, they've only had 2 Māori elected officials in 100 years. So this was a great solution, but the problem is that the central government are now forcing councils to run referendums, which means that they're deciding whether or not they're going to keep them in 42 different regions.
Is that every council has to run a referendum? Every council across the country?
Just the ones who haven't had any referendum before, so that's 42.
Okay, ka pai. And what are the key arguments for and against Māori wards, Professor? Nā te mea, you get people like Mr. Seymour who say if Māori are good enough, they will get on the councils anyway. We don't need the Māori wards. How do we respond to these arguments against Māori wards?
For me, Māori wards are a manifestation of te tiriti, the partnership, whether it is at the national or local government level. We, Māori, we're not a race, we're not an ethnicity, we're a sovereign nation. That's how we described ourselves prior to the treaty. We had a relationship with the Crown, have a relationship that involves partnership, and Māori wards are one manifestation of that relationship. So when we pull back on them, then what we're doing is pulling back on the last 50 years of working collaboratively to unpick the horrors of the past.
That's pretty much what the government's been doing though, wheeling us back 50 years, wheeling us back 100 years. Why do you think it's important to have Māori voices at the council table, Cassie?
Well, these are decisions that are getting made about our awa, about our whenua, about our sacred places. We need to have a say. But also what we've found is that lots of councils have really embraced Māori ward councillors because they turn out that they weave our communities together, they help us respond in natural disasters, they bring a long-term vision to making decisions, so they're actually a huge asset at the decision-making table, which we knew would be the case.
And most councils actually say that, don't they? They say, they've had huge benefit from the Māori ward councillors, but the government was always talking about democracy, and the local government minister, Simeon Brown, says this is a great day for democracy. This is when the bill passed its third reading, which meant that they have to have these referendums. He also said that the changes made by the government, the Labour government, Nanaia Mahuta, were divisive. How should we respond to that? This call about this is democracy in action and what we had before was divisive. How do we respond to it, Ella?
The great problem of democracy is it is always going to give the dominant group the most power. And the reality is that Māori have not been the dominant group in this country since we first invited tauiwi to come and live here 185 years ago. And a lot of that has been eroded by Crown action. I love the fact that the first Māori ward was in the Bay of Plenty, where one of the harshest regimes, one of the most cruel eras in our history occurred. That shows real progress. The fact that it's being unpicked at the moment by a very small group of New Zealanders, when you really think about who's driving this, is, I think, a tragedy for all the gains we have made in terms of being a really cohesive, multicultural society.
So what's Action Station doing to educate our communities, to mobilise our communities, not just the Māori community, but our communities in general? What's Action Station doing?
Yeah, so we're working with over 35 local groups who are on the ground, running events, getting people out to vote as we speak. And we've also been working with others like Toi Te Tiriti to be able to drive the momentum with a hikoi kiti pōti that happened last week as well.
And some councils have resisted or rolled back Māori wards, they've resisted it. So do you think there's still pushback in 2025, or why do you think there's still pushback in 2025? I mean, we've got kaupapa, obviously, they rolled theirs back straight away. Why is this resistance still around?
Look, we still have tensions. I mean, the simple reality is New Zealand is still in many ways a divided society. We still are repairing a history, and we have what I like to think of as controlled ignorance. I don't want to listen to the fact that you were here before us. I don't want to hear about the fact that you invited us to be here. We were the first. We're in control. We brought civilization. That narrative, which is really coming from a minority of New Zealanders, is unpicking so many of the gains that we've made, and I feel that's a tragedy.
And we've already had problems. We've had errors, especially in Whanganui, the voting packs in Whanganui. Does this show we need to rethink the voting process around our local wards, our local councils, or even shift responsibility back to the Electoral Commission? What's the remedy for the problems that we're having around local body elections at the moment?
Well, I think either way, we shouldn't have private companies running our elections. We don't know what they're actually doing. Are they trying to save costs on cutting things for our democracy? We don't know what's going on. We do know they've made some fatal mistakes in terms of our Māori wards decisions. So I don't think we should go in that direction. I think going down the Electoral Commission avenue might be the right one, but we also need to accept that our voting system has been systemically racist for a time. So there's no one silver bullet. We need to look at the racism within our system.
But we're going to have a referendum, right? So the referendum's on. What's actually wrong with having a referendum? Why can't we get our people out there and say to them, look, if you're going to vote, we're going to hold on to the Māori wards, so we'll win this referendum. What's actually wrong with the referendum? Why do you think the referendum will work against us?
I go back to the problem of democracy. I mean, and I do think it's important that we have a say, and I'm an advocate of democracy, but the problem of it is that the dominant group will always take control of power, and they will always maintain power. And unless we unpick that notion of dominance, and that's why tangata whenua, tangata tiriti, tangata moana have really changed the landscape in the last 20 years, and unrolling that back is problematic. But I just have to say that if you're Māori and you've moved in the last 6 months in Tāmaki Makaurau, I had to spend 2 hours on the phone and ring 3 different numbers to get my voting pack.
And that's the problem,
moved. And if we've got Māori who move because we know we're a transient population and they don't know to sit on a phone and ring 3 different phone numbers and bark at people.
Well, they don't trust the voting process either. No, we don't trust the voting process. It's always worked against us.
However, I'm heartened by the turnout. The statistics look good at this point. We are being galvanised. Poke the taniwha and you get us moving.
Yeah. So what's the message to whānau then, Cassie, in terms of if they're preparing to send their voting papers back, what do you want them to be thinking about? What should be on their minds as they go through this process?
I think it's simple. Just think about your tupuna and your mokopuna and what they'd want you to do. What do they want you to take action on now so they don't have to deal with it in the future?
What about the experience that a lot of, especially our wahine Māori, are having, just in the political environment as a whole? I mean, that's going to be a barrier for a lot of our people to just stand, full stop. How do we solve that?
Whakawhanaungatanga. It's all about the quality of and the strength of the community you have around you. And those who've been through the mill have said the same thing. Keep your whānau close and they will protect you when the death threats and the horror and the ugliness of the darkest side of our society gets thrown at you as wahine Māori. It's the calibre of your community that keeps you strong.
And I'd also say as well, we need a government that takes a leadership that stops emboldening hate and division. They are allowing this to happen and it's trying to bully us out of decision-making positions.
And if the Māori wards fail, so like if the referendum works against us, and we've got these groups that are rallying the Pākehā population to vote against Māori wards, if our Māori wards fail, what happens next?
So there will be Māori ward councillors until 2028, and then after that, the role will be disestablished, and then for at least 6 years, we won't be able to bring them back in.
So we can't get Māori wards back from 2028, we can't get them back for 6 years after that?
That's correct.
Well, that's...
We've survived worse in the last 100
Well, here's the voice of confidence, the positive spin from Ella Henry. Here we go.
We are nuggety little suckers. We've survived worse and we will survive this.
Yeah.
And I will say that at the moment, what we're seeing on the ground is people are so in kotahitanga and in support of Māori wards. I think you're right, it is a small minority of people that are trying to maintain power and control over our councils, and we're here to say we're in a new time now. We can make decisions together, we can share power, we can move forward.
You've been around, Cassie, you've been around a lot of our communities and stuff, educating, mobilising our people. What's your feeling on which or how many Māori wards will actually hold on to. Like, because there's probably going to be a few councils in some of those communities that have got strong Māori populations that may have a good chance of holding on to the Māori wards. But your feeling on the ground, how many Māori wards will we hold? How many will go?
Well, I have the same feeling around the Treaty Principles Bill. I didn't know what was going to happen, but then we busted down the records in terms of submission. So I have a positive feeling. I think that people are more supportive than they're necessarily saying, but only time is going to tell. And it's mostly going to be Pākehā who make the decision. When they see something that's Māori, are they going to vote to keep it or get rid of it? So it's really in their hearts that it's going to make a difference.
Yeah, it all goes back to what you said right at the top, Ella, about the tiriti o waitangi. So why do we, Māori, we always talk about that te tiriti relationship. We always rely on it, we talk about it, but the other side doesn't.
That's
Why
not
is that?
necessarily true. Do you know, I say this from the Toitu Te Tiriti March, and being in that community of tangata tiriti who are just as proud of our history. You know how many colonial new state nations don't have what we have? Yeah. And there are so many tangata tiriti, not just Pākehā, other ethnicities who go, this is something special and unique and I'm proud of it.
Yeah. So it's just that small minority, and a lot of them are in government at the moment, who sort of use the tiriti but only as a vehicle for them to get their way on it. They reinterpret it, don't they?
They would like it gone. There is a section of New Zealand society that want to ignore the history of our past because it's too uncomfortable. And so the best way to do that is to abdicate responsibility for it and get rid of it.
Yeah. So you're hopeful, Cassie?
Oh, absolutely. Communities are doing us proud around the motu, and I think that we have a really good shot at winning this.
And Professor, you're hopeful as well?
I'm a grandmother, I have to be.
Tēnā kōrua, mihi ana kia kōrua. I'm sitting here thinking, well, this is cool because I'm getting enlightened on these Māori wards as well, so learning a lot from both of you. Mihi ana kia kōrua, ienei kōrero, tēnā kōrua. Manaakitanga. Wai nō rei tiwi e whai ake nei, what's next for Te Ataarangi, the community-based Reo Māori learning program that's been running for over 40 years. Kia piri tonu mai, kia marae. Hoki mai anō kia marae, neke atu I te whātakau tau a te Ataarangi e arahi ana I te whakarauoratanga ake o te reo Māori o tira o te tikanga Māori. E hia mano kua puta I te Ataarangi. He kōrero Māori rātou I roto I o rātou kāinga me o rātou hapori. Hioi, kei te huri te ao, nā reira, e hāna a te Ataarangi, e rita e tōna huri ki tō te ao huri. Anei rā te pūrongo a Lee Marama McLaughlin.
Mā te mōhio ka mārama. Koinei ngā rākau hanga kupu Māori a te wao o te Ataarangi.
Ko te Ataarangi hi roto I Aotearoa tētahi tino kaupapa e mōhioti ana I te mahi rākau, ne? E rā rākau ririki nei me ngā tai. Me te mōhio tonu ko te tikanga o e rā rākau he whakakōrero I te tangata, hanga pikitia, hanga kōrero I roto I ngā rākau.
He rākau, te rākau, ngā rākau. Kōrero mai.
He rākau, te rākau, ngā rākau.
Tino pai.
Kua rima te koutou a te Ataarangi e whāngai ana I te reo Māori ki ngā tāngata.
Nā kupu, tēnei, tēnā, tērā, ne?
Nā kahurangi te hei kōkō mataira, rawa ko ngoi pe whairangi te kaupapa I timata.
Ara he kaupapa rumaki, he kaupapa hapori, he kaupapa whānau, me te mea hoki kei ki te hunga kāre pea I te rata ki te kura, kāre rata ki ngā momo kaupapa whare wānanga a rānei, he kaupapa ngāwari nei kia noho haumaru I roto I te reo Māori.
Engari, ka mea mai a Dr. Hond, nā te manawa pā ki te mimiti haere o te puna tahua I uru tau ai te kaupapa. E whai take tonu ana te wakamahi rākau, e aha nā rānei.
Ka kuhu mai he kāwanatanga hou, ka aukatihia tērā puna tahua. I reira no mātou ka ki atu wau, ko kore he moni, no reira me pēhea, me mutu tēnei mai, o te taurima, he pepe.
Nā reira te huri ki te waka tipu I te akoranga ipurangi. Te wāhi e waka haerehia ana te nuinga o ana akoranga.
Karoha. Tuatahi, he māmā te noho ki o rātou kāinga, noho I wainga I te whānau, ka whakarongo te whānau ki tēnei akoranga e haere ana. Nō reira, he huarahi kia uru atu te reo ki roto I ngā kāinga o ngā whānau e piri mai ana ki te kaupapa. Kei te rongo? Ko te mea nui nei I tēnei wā kei te ko kari rata ki au tēnei momo mahi o te pae pāpori I runga I te ipurangi. Ka mōhio tonu me whakaputa te kaupapa ki te ao o te papori I runga I te waia I runga I te ipurangi. Nō reira he huarahi hou tēnei mo te Ataarangi.
Ka titiro ana koe ki ngā rā o mua. He aha ngā hoki ngā mahara o?
Kua rerekē ra wātu I roto I te whā te koutou. Te tini o ngā tangata ko ako I roto I te kura. Te tini o ngā rangatahi kua puta I te kohanga reo I te kura kaupapa. Nō reira he reo tō ngā whānau, tō ngā rangatahi me ki au nei, kua pai te taha ki ngā momo rauemi kei kua puta ki waho. Kua pai te mahi ki runga reo irirangi, kua pai te mahi ki runga pauaka whakaata, kua pai te mahi kapahaka, I naene ka mātaki atu ngā ōpango, he reo Māori anō I te mātaki nātu. Nō reira, kei te pai anō tērā.
Hei tāna, he iti tonu te wakamahi I te reo Māori ki ngā wāhi I waho atu I te karaihe, me ngā whaitua mahi a te Māori, pēnā I te taone.
Nō reira, I etahi wā, ka noho nei tātou ki roto I te reo Māori whakaro, kei te ora pai te reo Māori, me te whakaro, ka ora ke tonu atu, me taku pono, he pēra. Engari, arā te nuinga kāri whai wāhi ki roto I tērā ao. I reira ka puta te whakaaro, me timata te whakarite I ngā wāhi reo Māori I roto I o tātou hapori. E rua ngā kaupapa I whae e mātou tuatahi ko te horopaki ōpaki, te ingoa o tō mātou kaupapa. Horopaki, he horopaki I tētahi rā ka rumaki atu ki tētahi horopaki. Te māra, te Tai Ahu, te mahi toi. Hea te ingoa Māori o ene? Taiwa.
Nō reira, uri, pango.
I tū tētai wānanga reo ki parihaka I ngā rā tata nei.
E rua tau ruru. Nō reira, he wāhi e ora mai ai te reo I roto I ngā taone e wāte ana ki ngā tangata aha kōko ai. Mehemea, e pono ana koe ki te reo Māori, e pono ana ki te kaupapa, nau mai hara mai. Ana kua kite atu, kua tino piki ngā nama I roto I rā kaupapa. Koera te aronga nei o te Ataarangi. No mai rā no, kua aro atu ki te hunga, he kore reo, he kore huarahi. Ko te mahi o te Ataarangi, he tō mai te tangata kia noho hei hapori. E pono ana, kei a rātou te mana, kei a rātou ngā tikanga, e pupuri ai te reo I roto I a rātou. Hei taonga tuku iho mā ngā tamariki.
Te reo tuku iho, kuia te pou o te whakarau ora reo. Hoi anō rei tiwi, that's Marae for this week. The team will be back with you again next week. Hoi anō mō tēnei wā, noho iho rā I roto I ngā manaakitanga o te wā. Hei tērā wiki, kia ora hui hui mai tātou katoa. Ko te reo, te take.